Hey everybody, this is Angela and you're listening to Five Picks and a Chick featuring El Gato. This is the podcast that gives you 5 NFL picks for people who love football and friendly wagering. Today we're joined by our special guest, Big Zay. Hey, as well, we have a special guest, Mr. Parlay. Mr. Parlay. And of course, we got El Gato. But it's a Super Bowl, so we're going to talk about the spread as well as the over-under. We actually have a live audience with us today.
We have a lot of friends here, a lot of subscribers. We have been at this for about a couple hours, having a nice little Super Bowl party.
Yeah,
we have a lot of good-looking people here. So yeah.
Well, I would.
Thank you, Agato.
Anyway, it's gonna be a good show. We have a lot to talk about for this Super Bowl.
But you know what? 2 weeks ago, we were on the championship games.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say what our record is for those games and then the season.
Yeah.
So I didn't have a good week.
Okay.
I went 1-3. For the season, I'm 56 wins, 46 losses, and 1 push. You went 2-2, El Gato.
Right.
You're at 55 wins, 45 losses, and 3 pushes. So believe it or not, we're both at 55%.
We'll take that because you know what? 55% is winning. And when you listen to the pundits on ESPN, Fox News, and whatever other sports station, a lot of those pundits picking games are far less than that. So, and they do that full time.
Exactly.
We do this for fun and because we enjoy, betting against games or for entertainment purposes, right?
Entertainment.
And so, yeah, being above 50%
It's a good thing.
is a good thing.
Y'all can call it entertainment. I'll call it making money.
All right. Okay.
I said I didn't do so well in the championship games, but let's talk about that a little bit.
Okay. Well,
What do you think?
I thought, Philly did, what they had to do against Washington to advance. They started really quick with Saquon on that first play, running 60 some odd yards, scored a touchdown, Spider-Man doing what he did.
Yeah.
And the defense came around and stopped Jaden as best they could. And then second half, they just rolled them. On the other side, the AFC game, of course, we had the refs helping KC win that game. I had to throw that in.
Yes.
It is what it is.
It
When
is
all
what it is.
when a lot of people on the national sports shows are talking about it, even ex-football players, then it's a problem. It's an issue. But the Bills didn't close out the game. They didn't make the plays that they had to make at the end of the game, which resulted in the KC win. It was a tough loss for the Bills for the, 3rd or 4th time losing to KC.
Yeah.
So we have an excellent matchup with the Chiefs and the Eagles.
What's the spread on that?
It's 1.5 or 1. It's basically a pick 'em. The
Eagles won.
Eagles
won.
Eagles +1. The over under is 48.
Yeah. 48.5.
48.5.
Over under. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about the spread, like I said, and we're going to give you our pick on the over under. You know what? On this game, I feel like the Chiefs have the more pressure on them. What do you think? Yeah. Anybody?
Well, trying to win 3 in a row is tough.
Yeah.
Winning 2 in a row is an accomplishment. Winning 3 is history. But KC is KC. They have Mahomes at the quarterback spot. He corrects a lot of the deficiencies that KC may have by making plays. He could arguably maybe the best quarterback ever.
Yeah.
Certainly the last 4, 5, 6 years, he's been the best quarterback.
Yeah.
Alongside Tom Brady, comparable, right?
Yeah.
As far as clutch, being the clutch player.
Yeah.
But they haven't played a defense like the Eagles have.
That's true. The Eagles have the #1 defense.
Right.
They have the best running back in Saquon Barkley.
Sure.
And he is the offensive player of the year. Good for him.
Yeah.
Hey, everyone actually thinks that Hurts is the weak link for the Eagles. But let me tell you, let me tell you the stat. He is only 46-20 as a starting quarterback. Come on, man.
Yeah. Angela, I'm gonna intervene here because Jalen Hurts got hurt. No pun intended. He got a concussion. When we brought in our backup, Kenny Pickett, our offense did not look the same. It didn't look the same, not one bit. So all this talk about Jalen being the weak link and everything, I think that's all bull, in my opinion.
But I think you have to go also maybe towards the first quarter of the season when they were maybe 2-2, 2-3.
Yeah.
And they wanted to get rid of that coach Soriano. And then something clicked after week 5 where they went on that 8-game, 9-game run.
Yeah.
Something happened.
Yes, sir.
I think it all started defensively.
Yeah.
And then it transitioned to Hurts making plays. And then Saquon started getting involved.
Rolling.
And then he got, he was averaging over 100 yards a game towards that 2,000-yard mark.
Right.
Everything seemed to click there. Casey on the other side were doing what they were doing. They were
Yeah.
winning close games,
Mm-hmm.
winning weird games,
Mhm.
by blocked field goals, a fumble at the end of the game, Mr. Parlay.
That's right.
And here we are. Here we are now.
Well, I'm gonna put some fun in this. You know what's gonna be interesting about Hurts and Barkley? They ain't gonna be at Taylor Swift's Super Bowl pre-party.
Oh my
But you know who will be? Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes live. All that
Yes.
little Kansas City little booze.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
So here we go. So not only that, but you think about Philly's run getting up to the Super Bowl, beating the Packers 22-10 in the wild card, beating the Rams 28-22 in the divisional round, beating the Commanders, not beating them. After the Commanders came out with that score, I thought it was going to be a game. And then boom, blowout.
True.
Not even a game, couldn't even cover, on either end. So, if you're a Commanders, right? Or the over under. So, really interesting to see how that goes. And Kansas City's run a bye, the divisional, and then the championship. Close games. I mean,
The Bills were, if they would have stuck to that run game
yeah,
where they started off in the second half and then were just shredding Chiefs defensive line
Yeah.
and secondary. I don't know why they didn't stick to that. They started mixing in the pass more, and that's what I think that's what doomed them.
yeah. The Chiefs season is really interesting. I mean, there's some big games that 3 of them that really stood out to me was with the Bills. The Bills played the Rams, the Chiefs, and the Texans and beat them all. Where the Chiefs, on the other hand, had some challenges, right?
It's a Super Bowl podcast, our last podcast, football season. Saquon is a generational talent, right? We can all agree.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let me tell y'all something. A few years ago, Miles Sanders, after he left us, he got himself a big contract. He went to the Panthers, didn't do much.
Didn't do nothing.
The next year, we signed DeAndre. We got DeAndre Swift. Got himself a big contract.
Right. You're talking about the Eagles now,
I'm
right?
talking about the Eagles
Yeah.
still. When he was with the Eagles, got himself a big contract after the year. He had a good year with the Bears. This year, you bring a generational talent like Saquon. I think a lot of respect not only needs to go to the running back, but a lot of respect needs to go to our offensive line. Needs to go to Jeff Stoutland. He has completely he brings in he brought in the guy who was playing rugby in Australia and turned him into one of the best offensive linemen this year.
Yeah.
I mean, it really starts with the big boys up front, in my opinion.
Yeah.
On both sides.
Big Zay brings up a very good point because this is where I thought the Commanders really had the Eagles in going into that championship game. Was with Cliff Kingsbury being the offensive coordinator and what he did with Jaden Daniels and how he worked that offense. Same thing to the offense for the Eagles.
Yeah.
I mean, they are really, really clicking on all cylinders. I'm really excited for the Super Bowl, and not to give away who I'll be picking, but I'm really excited for the Eagles too.
Well, let's just tie this up to Angela's point when she's talking about Hurts being a good player.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's gonna have to execute on this game, right, with his legs,
Absolutely.
and then manage the game like he has all season. Turnovers to a minimum, hitting his targets, tight end Goddard, getting AJ Brown involved.
Well, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I think from last time we played the Chiefs in the Super Bowl to this time we played
What's the main difference? What do
I
you
think Jalen Hurts' maturity.
And I also think the defense.
The
They
defense.
The number one defense.
So yes.
And
Yes.
who's up?
So at number one defenses
True.
that reached the Super Bowl, they're 16-6.
Oh,
I like them odds.
So
Okay,
we're
okay.
I like them odds.
But how about the number one difference? They've got Saquon now. They've got a
Big
run.
time.
They've got a
Oh
run
yeah.
game,
Yeah.
and they've got to stick to it. It may be tough going at times when they
Mhm.
get some stops, right? I'm talking about
Right.
the KC defense.
Yeah.
Right.
When they stop them, stop the Eagles offense run game to 2 yards, 3 yards. But if they can just stick to that run game,
Yeah.
he's bound to break an explosive play, right? I've talked to a lot of people tonight and they share the same sentiment.
Mm-hmm.
Keep beating the ball, he'll get his explosive plays,
Mm-hmm.
20+ yards, and that changes the whole dynamic. That could change
Oh,
field
yeah.
position. You know, if they're stuck in their 30 and he takes a run to the other side on the 40, you know,
Exactly.
that changes field position. Can get the field goal, can get a scoring opportunity. They
And
gotta
that's-
stick to that run game.
And that's the thing, though. You keep running the ball, you start focusing on Saquon, but you forget our outside weapons. We got AJ Brown, we got Devontae Smith on the outside. I say we like I'm on the squad, but at this point, I am on the squad. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Hey, Shay.
Yeah.
Hey,
Go
you look like
Birds.
you should be
Go
on the squad.
Birds.
You got overalls on.
I wore overalls today because we going to work, baby. We going to work.
Mention the Eagles game and the Commanders. The second half, the Eagles came out and played. I think that has a lot to do with the coaching.
So what do you think is the Chiefs' key to overcome that pressure then? They need to do
Go to
against-
Taylor Swift's Big
against-
Bowl. Super Bowl party.
What do you what do you I mean, Mahomes is gonna do what he does, right? He's
Yeah.
gonna make plays, he's gonna hit his check downs, he's gonna make some crazy sidearm throws
Yeah.
and hit a guy 40 yards down the field, not even looking at him.
Yeah.
But so how
Okay.
how can the Eagles
This is what I'm gonna say about the Chiefs. If I don't want the, I think I said who I'm going for. I'm going for Eagles plus.
Hey!
Okay. So, but this is what I'm gonna say about the Chiefs. The Chiefs have not allowed 100-yard rusher in their last 18 postseason games. So what they have to do is contain Barkley.
Because
That is not gonna happen. I think it's imperative that Barkley reaches over 100 yards. If he does, they win this game.
how about the Eagles win the game?
Yeah, the Eagles,
Yeah.
Barkley and the Eagles win this game.
Yeah.
The other thing, do not let Mahomes have last possession. I don't care if there's
Yeah.
4 minutes left.
Yep.
I don't care if there's 30 seconds left. They cannot let Mahomes have last possession. And one more thing, I think we're a little bit partial to the Eagles, but the Eagles have to know, and the coaches have to know, that they cannot make stupid penalties. The refs are leaning towards the Chiefs, so they got this game wrong.
You know, I've talked to a few subscribers tonight. They're predicting some close games. We do. We have. I talked to one. He's predicting a 24-20 game, a very
I like
tight
that.
game.
I like
Talked to another one, Carlos. I think safely say his name. He's thinking that and I agree with him. He's predicting and that the Eagles defense should blitz Mahomes. Not every play, but strategically and away from his strong arm. You know, put him going to his left where he's not able to blitz.
Contain-
And
because he's-
contain
Yeah.
Tessie, you're right about that. So we've got a lot of subscribers thinking the Eagles, if they can execute on defense, can contain Mahomes to a point.
Yeah.
I mean, he's gonna make his plays, granted, but limit those explosive plays downfield. I think it's to the benefit of the Eagles.
Yeah, I mean, all of y'all are making great comments and you know, the common thread is those or anyone who's competed in competitive sports, everyone, you know, you leave it on the field. But I really think Kansas City trying to three-peat, I think with Barkley in the position he's in and how many years he's had in the NFL, I think he really is the player that leaves it on the
The
field.
difference maker.
The difference maker.
Mhm.
Here's the thing about the you know, I enjoy friendly wagering. Anytime there's a wager out there, you always worry about injury because the injuries impact the wagers
Yep.
during the game. Because then you're like, oh my God, what just happened?
So who's injured? Who?
No one's in. No, I like the setup. Everything is good.
Okay.
Everything is good. What I'm saying is, you know, we talk about this as friendly wagering. Well, I can tell you that I'm a big fan of Eagles money line and the under at 48.5.
Oh, I like that parlay. Mr.
I love- I
Mr.
like-
Parlay.
Mr. Parlay,
like
yes,
it.
yes, yes.
But like I said, this is all going in with leaving it on the field.
Yeah.
The
Okay,
entire 4 quarters.
I like that.
Mr. Parlay, I agree 100% with you. as an Eagles fan, I am also a football fan, and I think that both these teams, their keys to victory is going to be defense. In my opinion, it really is.
Yeah.
You play defense to keep Mahomes off the field.
That's right.
Like Angela said, you
That's right.
do not want to give Mahomes the last
Don't
possession
give him the
of the
last
game.
possession
No,
of the game.
All right, so defensively, you're talking about the D line, the
no.
linebackers, the DBs.
it's a whole unit,
The whole unit.
from Jalen Carter and Sweaty up front
Yeah,
to Bond, who by the way has been just a great pickup
yeah.
from the Saints. That we oh my
All right,
God.
so think about that. From 2 years ago, when they had that matchup,
We,
all those dynamics have changed and improved, right?
we didn't have the linebackers that we have this year.
And the D line. The Eagles,
We didn't have
the Eagles
we had
has improved.
an older / younger D line at that time. Now our younger D line has matured and they are playing complete elite football. Jalen Carter, I know right now the reports are he's dealing with the sickness, but
What sickness? I didn't hear that.
there's a sickness going around the Eagles locker room, and Jalen Carter's been the
They've been the spreader.
he's been the main one in the spotlight that's gotten it. But that dude's a dog. He gonna be on the field. He gonna be on the
He's
field.
gonna be on the field.
Well, the thing
But
is, at that position, there's a lot of depth. We got Milton Williams. We got Jordan Davis. We got Ojambo from Texas. We are just straight.
Texas in the house. Yeah. Texas.
Yeah.
Well, the biggest improvement for me from the last time they met in the Super Bowl is the defensive secondary.
Well,
They've got some shutdown corners now that
We-
can
we-
match up with the Chiefs,
exactly.
and they've got on the back end,
Yeah.
the two.
We got Mitchell from Toledo University. We got Blankenship. We got Cooper Dijon.
Dijon,
And don't forget about Mr. Darius Slay.
Mhm.
the Slayer.
It's just the Slayer. So we're gonna be all right. I think our defense this year is gonna be the X factor, but the same could be said as the Chiefs.
And the Chiefs, who do they have on the defense line?
It don't matter.
Yeah.
Mr. Chris Jones.
Jones, baby.
Whoa, my God!
Jones.
I'll tell you what.
Okay, so let me ask you, who are you going with against the spread?
Come on now.
Go Birds!
Go
Oh, I
Birds.
forgot.
Who
I forgot.
are you going with?
I think with the Eagles at +1.5, well, the Chiefs need to win by a field goal on a tight spread, competitive rosters on both sides. The O line and the D line on both teams are gonna, I think, decide this game, along with the running game of the Eagles. If the Eagles can establish that run game and stick to it, I think they can win and cover. So I'll take the Eagles at +1.5.
You.
I like
Mr.
it.
Parlay.
Oh, I said it earlier. I put on this is a rare event, by the way, being a Dallas Cowboy fan.
Yeah, man.
This you don't know, but in all podcasts, fun. I do like the Eagles, and I actually like the money line on the Eagles,
Oh, wow.
and I like the under. I really like the under. I really think Saquon Barkley is going to dominate the clock. And well, when I say that, really it's the OC over there, but I think they dominate the clock. And if they're smart, when they get into the fourth quarter, like we've spoken about, they sustain that.
Everyone here think it's gonna be a fourth quarter game?
This is an Eagle defense that not is the same as the Eagle defense 2
No.
years ago. Eagle defense 2 years ago let up 17 points in the fourth quarter. That's not going to happen in this game. So as long as the Eagles can pull ahead like they did in that game 2 years ago, they're going to be all right.
All right.
Can I give the biggest X factor in my opinion? Vic Fangio. When you got a legendary defensive coordinator like that, hey, I know all the podcasts always wear an Eagle hat, but hey, we gonna take this off real quick.
I've got one X factor.
Like Mr. Parlay. We're gonna put it on there, Brian Taylor, baby. I'll tell you what, Patrick Mahomes, he has played defenses all season, but he has never played a defense like the Philadelphia Eagles, baby. And that will be the X factor. We are gonna shut down Mahomes. We're gonna shut down that whole offense.
I've got one X factor. I know Shaquan is Shaquan, right? But for the Eagles offense, the one guy I think that can be the X factor, who I think will be the X factor, and this is where Jalen comes into play, will be the Eagles tight end Goddard. He's balled out the last 3 or 4 games.
Yeah.
I think
Leading receiver.
He will be Jalen Hurts check down to keep those drives, those 3rd and 6s, 3rd and 5s, to keep those drives going, to get the Eagles in scoring position or to even change field position, right?
Mhm.
If they have to punt.
Mhm.
I think he's gonna be the X factor. We got AJ Brown, who needs to get involved in the game. I mean, they need to get that physical guy.
El Gato, he needs to read that book. Let's be real. Let's
Hey, Elgato, I gotta ask you, is this a unanimous Eagles win?
Well,
Are we on this podcast?
I think,
I'm going with the Eagles.
yeah, I think Angela's going with the Eagles.
I'm Eagles.
You're-
hold on.
I'm going with the Eagles only because the pressure of winning 3 in a row,
Yeah,
right? And the Eagles are a different team than what they were a couple of years ago when they met. And the way the Eagles have progressed throughout the season, their O-line is top notch in the league. The D-line and the difference maker, to everyone's point that we made, is Saquon, that was acquired from the Giants, right?
yeah.
I mean, he is the difference maker.
Story though.
Oh,
We've had a Philly bias type conversation.
Yeah.
No Kansas City Chiefs, but there's a feel good story before I get on Kansas City. Trotter and Trotter Senior, right?
yes.
Right
Yes.
there.
That's
that
good.
right there.
Yeah.
Trotter as a linebacker sitting in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you talk about leaving it out there in the field,
He's
going
Yeah.
all out.
he gonna play for pops.
He gonna play.
He gonna
for
play
Pops.
for pops.
He ain't joking around out there. Hey, but before I get off, I know we have a Kansas City Chiefs fan. I want him to come up and give some comments real quick.
Yes.
Let's bring out Ronnie. What are we talking about Kansas City? What we got?
Your keys to the game.
Only Chiefs fan.
Your keys to the game.
By the way, he's wearing a green shirt.
Yeah. I've heard all of y'all's analysis and it's very good.
Thank you.
I will say that Kansas City will put out a defense on Sunday.
Yeah. What kind?
And
Spagnuolo kind.
yeah, exactly.
No.
Right, Spagnuolo kind.
Right.
Two legendary coordinators going
I
at
don't know if you've ever watched that movie about the gladiator when the Emperor of Rome comes out and says, "Just won't die."
it.
That's the chief, and that's all I got to say.
What are you going? 48 and a half.
48 and a half?
Yeah.
40 and a half. Not the teaser.
I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with the under.
Okay. What about you, Big Zay?
Everything Eagles. I'm going Saquon Barkley over 109.5 yards. I'm going Saquon Barkley fastest carry speed 19.5 miles per hour yard. I'm going Saquon Barkley MVP, and then the Eagles +1. Fly Eagles fly on the road to victory. Fly Eagles fly. Score a touchdown, 2, 3. Hit 'em low, hit 'em high, and watch our Eagles fly. Fly, Eagles fly. On the road to victory. Give me the over because of Saquon.
I'm with you.
I like it.
So who does Big Zay want?
Because most Super Bowls go over.
Is that right?
Yep.
That's a stat.
Yep. And when they played 2 years ago, 73 points total.
Cool.
Anybody else?
I'm gonna ask y'all the question.
Oh, that's good.
Yep.
You're gonna have a minute and a half since this is 5 picks,
Oh
right?
my God.
Only 5 teams in the NFL have only won 1 Super Bowl and that's it. Name all 5. One and only 1 Super Bowl victory.
Tampa.
Oh,
They're telling them.
I appreciate that. Whoever said
And,
that.
and Tampa's wrong, by the way.
Oh.
Only 5 teams have won only 1 Super Bowl. Name all 5 teams since it's 5 picks. 5 teams have only won 1 Super Bowl.
That's a good question.
All right.
That's a fun trivia.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. I really do.
All right, who do you have?
I'm gonna go Eagles, Seahawks, Colts, Saints, and Giants.
Giants have won 4.
Oh shit.
So that's not right. So that's not right.
Well, they haven't been much since.
Jets, Saints, Eagles, Bears, Seahawks. He got 4 of those.
Well, if you're ready to this podcast, we just want to thank you. Hit the subscribe and like button on our YouTube channel. You can find us wherever you get your favorite podcast. Thank you to Mr. Parlay and Big Zay for joining us today. Hey, make sure to join us next week. Elgato and I will give a recap of the Super Bowl and our final season record. And as always, thank you to Elgato for being part of 5 Picks in the Chat.
Shout out to everybody around us. Good job.
Nice job, guys.